good morning, good morning, good morning, and peace in the morning. Welcome to the Peace in the Morning Show. This is Darius A. Stanton, your host, along with the incomparable Lady Karan, all the way live from Skype, no doubt. And here in the studio with me, none other than Queen to the World. I always love my mama, because she's my favorite girl. Mom, the queen herself, Queen Ayasudebe. Good morning. Peace and love, Queen.
Great peace and love. Great morning. Welcome, everybody. Nice to see you, Lady Karan. Peace and love. Good morning. One can never consent to creep when one feels an impulse to soar. Helen Keller.
All right. Great quote this morning. Soar, soar we will. And as a matter of fact, as we celebrate a few things this month, in the month of May, here on the Peace in the Morning Show, welcome to all the folks who are joining us on www.elifemedia.net, as well as our good folks and friends from Facebook Live. Coming live from Roland Grimes, peace and love, Roland Grimes, peace and love to Delegate Barnes, who's attending a conference this morning, not able to join us. Also, the folks who are out there on Darius A. Stanton, Mr. Peace and Love, that's that other guy, you know, that pushes peace and love all the time. So thank you all for joining us. But as I was saying, Peace in the Morning, we're celebrating National Mental Health Awareness Month. In addition to National Mental Health Awareness Month, we're also celebrating all month long, although Lady Karan so eloquently says that we should be celebrating.
I had backup.
You got backup. Mother's Day all year long, 365 days a year.
Every day of our lives.
Every day.
Yes.
Every day of our lives, a man or a woman or a friend or a child should be bringing home a flower. Cassiana takes flowers to his mom. He's just 4 years old. His grandmother, he says, Mama, stop and get Miss Queen an apple and wrap it up, please. And I want to take a couple of leaves. Flowers every day.
I got you.
Mothers should be celebrated because our job is 24/7.
That's right. Oh.
And the child should lead the way.
That is so correct. Teach them, Tessiana.
That's right. Now, the other component to that, I think we should at least do it for 9 months, because it's 9 months that it took 9 months to carry me, and No.
A year, every day, all of our lives.
Okay.
Celebrating.
Well, on the Peace in the Morning Show, we will at least for the month of May keep on pushing it. And this morning, we're going to talk about and celebrate single moms, as well as how to help your children. My mother came up with this, and I've been using it, crediting her for it all along. That is, a successful summer breeds a successful life. So how do you get a successful summer? We're going to promote some things locally, regionally here in the Maryland area, but also some national opportunities and things that you all should be looking for. And although if you were looking for a summer internship, right now they're pretty much dried up. They start working on summer internships the summer beforehand, early in January, but that does not mean that they're all gone. You still have an opportunity for those. So we'll be talking about that, of course. Celebrating moms and helping moms find ways to make sure that children have successful summers that breed successful lives.
Right on.
In addition to that, of course, we're going to promote those positive stories that are out there in our community. And it's still National Mental Health Awareness Month. And so our beautiful lady, Dr. I've now called you Doctor, Lady Karan.
Doctor.
That's right. Well, she's a minister, so I could call her minister. And, you know, they say doctor.
Yeah. Oh, they do. Yes, they do.
But we will be hearing from the doctor, actually, in the studio live next week. Is that next Tuesday, Lady Karan?
That is next Tuesday. We will have Dr. Dwayne Buckingham. We're excited to have him for the National Mental Health Month Awareness.
That's right. That's right. And then, in addition to that, we're also going to have tomorrow on Funky Friday, and you know on Friday we pump it up. Boom! We're gonna have our good brother Ty Gray L. Will be joining us in the studio. Breath of My Ancestors.
A real poet, serious poet.
Are you gonna dance tomorrow?
Oh yeah, I could dance today.
As a matter of fact, we have one of Queen's songs that we're gonna play this morning, and the first one. And so check it out so you can get a taste of the Queen's music first thing this morning, live right here on www.elifemedia.net. If you want to call us, hit us at 240-455-5934. That's 240-455-5934.
I will exalt thee, O Lord, for thou hast lifted me up, and I let my foes rejoice over me. I will exalt thee, O Lord, thou hast lifted me up, and I let my foes rejoice over me. Hear, O Lord, and be gracious unto me. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, have mercy. Deliver us from the negatives of this land. Hold on, your children, to the Most High's unchanging hands. I will exalt thee, O Lord, for thou hast lifted me up, and I let my foes rejoice over me. Shall inherit the earth. My sister, know your value. My brethren, know your worth. Deliverance, benevolence, service to the Most High Jah. Deliverance, benevolence, service to the Most High Jah. For I will exalt thee, O Lord, 'cause thou hast lifted me up, and I let my foes rejoice over me. I will exalt thee, O Lord, thou hast lifted me up, and I let my foes rejoice over.
All right. That was Jah taking over.
Jah has lifted me up.
Jah
I will
has-
exalt thee, O Lord, for thou hast lifted me up and not allowed my foes to rejoice over me. Hear, O Lord, and be gracious unto me.
That's
Weeping may tarry in the night, but joy cometh in the morning.
one of my favorite lines. Lady Karan, that was none other than Queen Ayasudebe and the Earth Blessings Royal Court Orchestra. How'd you like that this morning?
I love all of Queen's work. Amazing.
Bless you.
I know that's right. Well, I really love the line, lifting me up and not allow my foes. Jah has lifted me up and not allowed my foes to rejoice over me.
Right.
I really love that line, and I want to share a really positive story with you that we received from the Huffington Post. It is about a situation that a lot of our young people experience, unfortunately, in America, and it's those who are either wrongfully incarcerated or, in some cases, overly incarcerated, meaning that their sentences are much more longer than they should have been for the crimes that were committed. A prime example of that is the people who were arrested for cocaine versus people who were arrested for crack. And the sentencing that transpired is that actually made where President Obama and the previous Attorney General Eric Holder pulled those numbers back, but they're still extremely disparate in terms of the difference and the variance between crack and cocaine. But there is a story about a young man who was wrongfully incarcerated. He was an artist, and he was wrongfully incarcerated in the District of Columbia. He was going to school for his master's. A detective called him and said, we want to talk to you. You went to talk to them. 5 days later, he was arrested. Subsequently, after that, he went to court, and he ended up going to jail. And he ended up going to jail for over 10 months, and it changed his life. But he was released from jail. Once he was released, the artist named Sherelle Rowland once he was released from jail, he said, my life has been changed forever. Even though he just spent 10 months in a detention center, which was deplorable. They had several human rights violations filed by attorneys outside of himself. They just talked about how deplorable this prison was in a 2015 report prepared by some Washington lawyers, Rights Committee for Civil Rights and Urban Affairs. And this gentleman decided, I've still got to go back to school. I've got to change, and I've got to do something different. So Roland then went back to school, got his degree, and he wore his orange jumpsuit underneath his cap and gown when he graduated as a signal for the improper treatment and the criminalization of African-American males. And
Right.
where African-American males make up at least 50% of the population, there's so many mothers that are struggling with the fact that their children have been incarcerated wrongfully, or, as I said before, in much longer terms or sentences than they should. The state of Maryland has done a much better job with juveniles than they have in the past, because they were sitting in juvenile detention centers for 8-9 months at a time, 10, 11 months at a time. And these in Baltimore City, the juvenile detention center, it's a jail. It's not a
Holding center.
a school or on a farm.
It's a prison.
It's a prison. They have bunks and cells that they're locked in, and that's it. You got to be locked in and locked out.
Darius, I want to add to that in Cook County, also there are hundreds of young black men in prison, you wouldn't believe, for a wrong tag, taking a wrong turn, not stopping at the stop sign, a violation on their license, or something to that sort, who are spending time, haven't even had a hearing yet. Just by hundreds of them. We should
Just
look
sitting.
that up.
That's right.
Just sitting in jail. Black men sitting in jail.
Lady Cron?
Yes. So to the story, two things that really stood out to me was one, and I encourage our listening audience to actually Google him and his project that he has that he's actually implementing now, which is this jumpsuit project, which is absolutely amazing. But one thing I read in the article that really touched me was that he remembered getting the call. I look at you, Darius, and Queen, how you're so close to your mom. And in his story, he talked about how he got that call from the detective that he had a warrant out for his arrest, and that he didn't have his mom there. He received that news by himself, but he wished that he had his mother that was pregnant. I think she was out at the store or doing errands. And just to be in a very lonely, dark space by yourself to receive such distraught information or distraught news that was life-changing for him. And he talked about how he sat in court and he just knew that he was innocent, and he never thought that his whole life was going to be changed by the ruling from the judge. And then he talked about being in jail, and just it's amazing how unfortunate this does happen to so many people. But at the end, when he was released and they found out that he was innocent and his records were expunged, no one addresses how is he feeling mentally and emotionally after his whole life was turned upside down. I mean, he has to live with the memory of what it was like to be alone in this cell, in this prison. He talked about being isolated for a long time and often. I mean, my heart just really goes out to him and those that are found in that type of situation. It's just very unfortunate. And it shouldn't be just, okay, your records are expunged. No, he needs to be paid some kind of retribution, some type of wages for what is
for
it?
Time spent.
Yes. He needs to be compensated for the loss of time and family and loved ones, and the time that he lost from school. I mean, this is just not right on so many levels, and we've got to continue to. You always hear me say, be proactive as a community.
Exactly.
We've got to come together and understand our power as a Black community, as an African American community, and band together and be proactive to put things into place so these kind of things don't continue to happen that impact our communities.
Well, and as you brought up a very good point as we address National Mental Health Awareness Month. And if you're with our listening audience, please give us a call so we can share some resources with you for young people coming out of the juvenile detention facility, coming out of the adult facility. You have juveniles that are charged as adults, and then they're released back into the juvenile population or back into their family's custody as a result of a plea bargain or some other deal that they made to come out. But people just kind of take it like, okay, they were locked up. And they don't think about the psychological trauma, just first of all, of being locked in a cage, literally, where you're told what to do, when to go, when to eat, when to sleep, when to get up, when to shower, when to exercise, and in the federal penitentiary, you have to pay for everything. So when people get locked up, they go away, but they have to now depend on somebody else basically to feed, to do everything except feed them. They have to buy soap. They've got to buy underwear. They have to buy shoes. Everything that they need, they have to purchase from that system. And so that brings another whole strain. But the psychological component that people just come home, and where is the therapy? And we're bringing our community, our young people, and our adults, women as well, because as you know, the fastest growing prison population in America are African American females.
Pennsylvania's full of them.
And in Baltimore City, you have a population of almost 70% of the population has been, at one point in time, either incarcerated, on probation, or in some other form of parole, or some other form of touched by the criminal justice system. 70%. That's an alarming number, and it has such an impact on our mental health. And think about the mothers and the stress on the mothers that are worried about their child. If you listen to the radio late at night, in any major urban city, they'll call in and say, me and little Chris miss you, daddy, or miss you, boo-boo, or love you, I'm holding it down for you. The pain and the stress of worrying about your loved one being incarcerated.
And then to Roland's situation, the stress, the fact you were innocent, and you knew you were innocent. You just didn't have the representation to get you off. To know that, and come home and know, again, just because a piece of paper is a sponge doesn't change the fact that his life was turned upside down for almost a whole year. And he's branded, unfortunately. It's a lot. So it's one thing when you do a crime and you have to serve time for that crime. But it's a whole nother thing to serve time and you're innocent. And he was innocent. But thank God that he's out, he graduated, and he's doing well. I'm excited for him.
So speaking of hate, of crimes and incarceration and just the legal system, we talked about an incident that took place a few weeks ago in Anne Arundel County here in Maryland, where there've been a number of incidents dealing with racial bias, the killing of the young man at Bowie State University, but
whose services are tomorrow or today?
That's right. I'm not sure exactly. I know the graduation was Tuesday with the parents there, but the services are coming up. We will let you know before the end of the show when the services are. But they had two young people in Anne Arundel County who were found seen on tape putting a noose up at a middle school in Crofton, Maryland. And these two young people have now been charged with a hate crime. Which is a significant situation because they're now being held accountable for instituting something. I met with a judge this morning and asked him what constitutes a hate crime because we were concerned about this. And a number of folks reached out to the state's attorney in Anne Arundel County, but he did make the call and is now charging these two young men with hate crimes. And I think this is significant because you've got people who think that they can get away with doing these things, knowing that cameras are out there, blatant, and you still take this upon yourself to, again, psychologically, our children's mental health are impacted. That's what a lot of those things, what the Ku Klux Klan did, the terrorism that takes place around the world is around the psychological component. But this is terrorism right here in the United States, right here in Maryland. Yeah. So I'm just, happy to report that they have at least been charged. But the biggest thing that I think we want to continue to focus on as we do here at eLife Media, as we get ready to go to a second song by the Queen. And when we come back, we'll listen to some callers to call in and talk to us about, single moms, getting ready for our young people and preparing them for summer, a successful summer, breeding a successful life. Call us at 240-455-5934. That's 240-455-5934. Take it away, Queen.
Just like the rhythm of the drum, it keeps repeating. The
Yes.
energy is so very high, it's got me screaming. Now I'm waiting for your lights to get me beaming. Get up, get up, get up, and shake your planet. Ooh, you got me jumping so high, I can't stand it. Something's happening, something spiritually high is happening. Something's happening, something spiritually high is happening. And I keep coming here for more. Watch me change the atmosphere. I keep coming here for more. Watch me bring some stars in here. I keep coming here for more. Watch me make it hot, my dear. I keep coming here for more. More and more and more and more and more. Now I'm all excited. Feel like I wanna fuse it. Nothing mixing me up. I'm crazy loving your music. I'm already loving you. I just met you a few days or so. Now you're telling me I don't know where you're getting ready to go. I could hardly get those words out of my mouth. Ooh, when I heard you say real soft, you're moving down south. Something's happening, something spiritually high is happening. Something's happening, something spiritually high is happening. And I keep coming here for more. Watch me change the atmosphere. I keep coming here for more. Watch me bring some stars in here. I keep coming here for more. Watch me make it hot, my dear.
Uh-oh.
I keep coming here for more. More and more and more and more and more. Now I'm all excited. Feel like I want to fuse it. Nothing mixing me up. I'm crazy loving your music. I'm already loving you. I just met you a few days or so.
All right.
And now you're telling me I don't know where you're getting ready to go. I could hardly get those words out of my mouth.
All right. That was Queen Ice Sudebe. Queen, where was that recorded?
In Kingston, Jamaica.
All right, Kingston. Who were some of the artists that performed with you on that track?
Buju Banton's lead guitar player, Mitchum Khan, Stephen Marley's keyboard player,
One of the Marley Boys.
Carol Bowie,
Mm.
know his keyboard player, and some greats from the Firehouse crew. Kurt Bennett on drums,
Okay.
real nice musicians.
No doubt about it. So, we're jamming it live in the studio. If you have some independent music, an independent artist that's out there, you want to have it played, live right here in the studio on www.elifemedia.net. We are worldwide.
We do that.
And when I tell you we worldwide, we are worldwide. We have people watching us in Thailand. We have people watching us in Ethiopia. We have people watching us throughout the continent of Africa, which is in Ethiopia, by the way. We are worldwide. When I say worldwide, in Canada, people are watching. Lady Karan, are you in Canada right now? Because I know you roll all the time.
I'm not in Canada, but I do want to share one thing, Darius. To the topic we were discussing before we went to Queen's beautiful music. One thing I want to highlight, talk about a positive note, and that is as a result of the hate crimes. I'm just want to shout out to the University of Maryland, who has set aside thousands of dollars to actually invest to ensure that hate crimes are those who actually implement or act upon hate, that those things are being addressed at their school on their campuses. So I want to just give them a shout out that they are setting aside funds to make sure these things don't happen on their campuses. And so shout out to the University of Maryland.
No doubt. I think, my eldest son, my youngest son is at the Smith School of Business there. And, definitely the concern for parents. We're in touch with the university, very concerned about the safety and well-being. And, we're speaking positivity into the atmosphere. And so we know that they will be moving forward in a positive and productive manner. And, one of the most important factors of our community being tuned into positive messaging here at the Peace in the Morning show is the fact that we're going to continue to promote peace, and we're going to continue to promote love. And that's what we expect. We expect peace. We expect love. We're spreading that in the atmosphere. We will not be spewing the word H-A-T-E. We will spell those words that we don't believe in, because we know that words have what?
Power.
That's right.
And what you do with the words. I didn't hear you.
Go ahead, Queen.
What you do with the words is even more powerful.
Yes, that is so very true. Absolutely. Real quick, I know we're staying on a positive high note, but did y'all hear about the GOP candidate in Montana?
No. No, tell us.
Oh, wow. So this is news. So the GOP candidate in Montana, who's running for Congress, an open seat is available. He was actually charged, and we talked about earlier how our people are charged there's no equality around the things that they're charged for compared to how our counterparts are charged. But he was charged, but he actually attacked a reporter during his announcement.
Oh, yeah, and flipped him over.
Yes.
Knocked him down.
Yeah, he was hurt. That's so inappropriate. And it's amazing how you are running for Congress, a seat in Congress.
Wow.
And you can outright attack somebody and just be charged. Are you going to do time for this charge that you actually, put on this person? And I just wanted to highlight that because I thought that was so inappropriate. But again, certain people just are not held accountable, such as ourselves.
So he just apologized. That's all that happened.
Exactly.
He just apologized. We got an apology from him.
Our station manager, engineer, Roland Bubba Grimes said, "Flip me." You got to come in and see Roland Grimes. Was our star fullback, halfback coming out of Bishop McNamara, that also played for the University of Syracuse, the Orange Men, who he proudly represents. But definitely, Big Roland said, "Flip me." And I think the fact that the boldness, and we have to be bold with peace. We got to be bold with it. We got to be bold with love. Start, promoting it. And when you see things on the internet that people are pushing friends of yours, when you see them sending fights out, people getting hurt and smacked and mauled and beat, stop. Send your friend a note, send it on inbox, send it to them, pick up the phone and call them and tell them to stop spreading that. And then take them off your Facebook page. Take them off your social media page.
That's all you have to do, unfriend them.
Unfriend them, but you need to communicate, because friends pull people up. My mother said if they don't pull you up, they're not your friends.
Right.
And so you have to pull people up and let them know that that's not, because people think it's okay. It's so callous until it happens to our families individually. So keeping right along.
Asset-based communication.
Asset-based communication.
Going on to several things about the prison terms and the brother who just got out after being falsely incarcerated. I want to say that when these juveniles do come out, and we're talking about summer jobs, I keep going to the church, have these big facilities that you're paying electricity for all day, all night, 7 days a week. Can you put some space in there that you can do some programs that have counseling for these young men and women so many days a week? Just have some counseling. Also to allow them to do some programs. If you can hold a lottery where you'll send 5 to 10 students, it could be members of your church, they could be members of the community, to martial arts school. Wushu is the terminology, but martial arts, for those who don't know that, to give them self-defense, young boys, men or women, because this is important. Even though we want to be all loving and all positive, our young people are being killed, are being attacked, men and women. And a lot of people are getting away with it, including the police. So we should be diligent in preparing them to protect themselves at all costs. So I encourage you to do that. Community services also. In the community, we can go around to see what people have clothes that they would like to give away in excellent condition, very good and excellent condition. Resources, what resources are available for these young people. And if you have any ideas and you want to be of help, please give us a call at 240-455-5934.
No doubt.
As we actually transition, I think we're going to talk about today preparing our youth and our single mothers for the summer, which is here. But can we just not have some rain and just have some sunshine? I need sunshine right now, but we're going to talk about preparing them for the summer. I think that's a great topic, and to give our moms some ideas and to motivate our children and our youth around what's coming up for the next couple of months.
So one of the things that, in the summertime, I know in our family, we had several jobs. First, you have chores at home. That's the first thing. So if you have a list of chores that you can share with folks, give us a call that you make sure your children have. Please let us know, 240-455-5934. So first of all, work starts at home. Because if you send your young people outside of the home without teaching them how to do the work in the home, then when they go to work, they may not be able to maintain those jobs.
Ill-prepared.
And in addition to that, we want to make sure that our young people have manners that start at home. You must have manners. Emotional intelligence is rooted in manners. We do a workshop with the Stanton Group Incorporated called Professionalism 101. Manners. That's what we want to make sure that our young people have when you walk into an establishment. Teach your young people manners and have them use them all the time. There's no place where manners are not appropriate. And so make sure they have manners.
And real quick on manners, Darius, I remember growing up, I had to say yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And even if we don't want or require our kids to do that, don't allow them to say yeah and no. It's yes and no. I mean, let's help them speak properly and to also, as you just said, be respectful of adults. Not saying they should be abused by adults, but let's respect those that have in the leadership above them. And the elders. So yes, manners are very, very important. And speaking of chores, Darius, I know Queen didn't make you do this, but when I was growing up, I had to do, wash woodwork in the summertime. I had to wash the furniture on the front porch. I had to cut the grass. Queen, did you make him do all that work?
Well, we didn't have grass in the places that we lived. Well, we had grass, but I was too young to be cutting grass at that time.
Right.
But we definitely had chores, no question. I had to wash the dishes. I had to make up my bed.
Pick up trash.
You do all that, tell her come on.
Rhoda said, you do all that, tell her come to my house. She's well prepared, isn't she? That's the kind of wife you want, huh, Rhoda? Oh, no, I'm just joking. Because my wife is not about that at all.
Will you marry me?
There it is, a proposal. Our first proposal live on www.elifemedia.net. Here at the Peace of the Morning. If you want to get married, it's exclusive. You can call us right here. And you know what my mother talks about. We're not going to talk about it today, but stay tuned next week when we talk about sharing your man. Oh, my goodness. So that's not part of his proposal. He didn't put that out. He said, only you.
I keep telling you, it's not for everybody. It's
That's
a
right.
cultural thing.
That's right.
Certain cultures, only certain cultures.
But getting back to the topic, Should I give you a chance to respond to the proposal? I don't want you can do that next week. So listen, give us a call at 240-455-5934 if you have any summer jobs. If you're aware of any places that are hiring this summer that will give our young people a great experience to work, because work ethic is so critical. That's the other component from home, work ethic. Making sure that your children get up in the morning or at night, actually, and put the trash out. That's a big deal. And some mothers are still home with boys grown putting the trash out themselves. That's not acceptable. So for those that are doing it, let us know what the chores are. Let us know how you're preparing your young people to go to work. Because if you prepare them to go to work at 12, 13, 14, 15, you don't have to worry about them being home living off you at 25, 26, 27, 28. Because they would have already learned how to take care of themselves while they were at home.
I think also you want to talk about young people need to learn that they are consumers. Once parents teach children that they are consumers, they will recognize that as a consumer, I need money to buy things. I want to go to eat, I need to buy food. When mommy goes to the grocery, when daddy goes to the grocery, they use money or credit cards, another form of money, to buy food. When they want to go to a movie theater, they use money to purchase the tickets to get into the theater to watch the movie. This is a training program that all children need. They can understand the value of money, what it is used for, why it is needed, and how to get it. Just getting a job and not knowing what to do with your paycheck when you get paid at the end of the week or 2 weeks is a big issue. Don't get the job and just start buying. Teach them how to buy what they need versus what they want. Teach them the resource values. Teach them the value of their work, time, and energy and labor, so that when they get paid, they will say, well, I worked this week, I'll put X amount of dollars aside so that if I need something, my mom just said for the rainy day,
That's right.
I will have it. Teach them that when you're going places, you have to buy gas for the car. We are consumers. If we're not teaching our children that they're consumers, you're not teaching them values. And if you're not teaching them values and value indicators, you're going to have a problem when it comes to mama and daddy called gimme.
Let me tell you a really good experience that's coming up, an opportunity that's hosted by a gentleman who does a wonderful job representing our community, both in the United States and around the world. I'll tell you what he's doing in his own hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. His name is Dr. George Frazier, and he started 5 charter schools inside of the city of Cleveland. So that's just to begin. He's educating the community with over 500 students. I believe 5,000 students throughout the entire. I'm not exactly sure the number. But definitely, you want to support Dr. George Frazier's work. He has a Power Networking Conference that's coming to the Prince George's County Gaylord National Resort and Conference Convention Center on July 6th through the 8th. That's the Power Networking Conference. Forbes magazine ranks it in the top 5 of all networking conferences in the country. Not top 5 black, but top 5 of all networking conferences. It is unapologetically black. They speak to black issues. They speak to promoting black businesses. And the other significant thing about this is once you pay for your registration to attend, you're able to bring a student with you for free. I'm bringing it up because these are people who are in business but are putting their business in a social mindset. They're not doing business just to make money. They're also doing business to encourage and uplift the community. So you want to register for the Power Networking Conference. You can find it online, July 6th through 8th, 2017. It is a great investment. It's right in our backyard. It started in Cleveland, Ohio, then moved to Dallas, Texas, and now for the next 5 years, it was here last year. It'll be in Prince George's County in our backyard if you're in the DMV area. If not, fly here. You'll want the experience, regardless of the color. An enormous amount of resources, great opportunity, and you definitely want to check that out. So speaking of conferences, we send our children to a lot of different programs throughout the summer. We send them to basketball camps, send them to baseball camps, we send them to football camps, whatever other sport they want to play. but do we send them to educational camps?
Nope.
Do we send them to speed reading classes?
Nope.
Do we send them to SAT and ACT prep? You know, where are we sending our children? Remember, a successful summer breeds a successful life. How many books are young people reading over the summer? You know, these are some of the things that we want to encourage you to do as you prepare your young people to go to work. Make sure that they're working intellectually as well as with their hands, learning a trade, learning how to do something that will help them to take care of themselves, build for themselves, but also be able to employ themselves and work multiple jobs to do what they need to do to take care of their families. What type of summer jobs did you have, Queen? Did you have summer jobs?
Oh yeah, I had major summer jobs.
Yeah, major summer jobs?
Yeah, I worked with Head Start was one of my first jobs, working with young people, learning how to work with 4 and 5 year olds and how to make them sit down and keep quiet, how to entertain them, how to keep them from wetting their clothes, how to make them feel comfortable if they did wet their clothes. So yeah, I worked at cleaning floors. I learned how to use a big buffing machine when I was 14 years old. I worked in a locker room in Annapolis at the yacht club. I worked all kind of jobs, and then later on I worked in the bank. So I think it's important. I did volunteer work for the Annapolis Art, what do you call that now today? The boat show, the art show, the boat show. I worked there, art festival, the boat festival, the clam festival. Every year I look for jobs everywhere. And I think that's very important. Also, parents, a lot of parents have businesses, and it would be encouraging for you to train your children in the business that you have.
That's right.
During the summer.
Take them to work with you. You know, take them to your job. One of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing right now is because my mother took me with her to her meetings, took me with her to the programs. One of the first programs she created in Annapolis, herself along with Jewel Chambers and
Valerie Allen.
Valerie Allen. And Lolita was a part of that as well, I
Yeah,
believe.
she was one of the students.
And now Lolita's a teacher in the arts as a result of Asset, you know, which was a program that they started. So I was there seeing those things. My father was a broadcaster at the local cable channel, doing broadcasting for the local basketball games. And what am I doing today? Broadcasting live with the Peace in the Morning show on www.elifemedia.net.
With asset-based information.
With asset-based information.
This is amazing.
Full circle, full circle. So, Lady Karan, share with us some of the things you did during the summer that helped you to prepare you for a successful career, because you definitely on a national platform representing the National Association of Colored People around the world and the country here in the United States as the Director of Health. Tell us some of your successful programs and things you did during the summer that got you to where you are today.
So really, I was really serious about what I had to do as a kid. So I didn't get to really enjoy summer. You know, I grew up in a middle income family. So middle income back then was my mother worked day and night to make sure we had just the bare necessities. And so I really spent my days and my summers at home and doing woodwork, cleaning house. I guess I learned how to be domestic and how to take care of a home. That's what, you know, back in the old school parents, that's what they taught the ladies. You know, you were taught to how to cook and how to clean and how to keep a house well. So that's really what I did. And then when I became 15, I became a cashier because I decided that I no longer wanted my mother to work so hard to provide for me because I was a baby. And I decided that for me around school supplies and school clothes. So I started working to provide for my own self at the age of 15. So all of that taught me how to become independent. That taught me how to become responsible. That's just taught me how to like get my hustle on and make things happen that I wanted to make happen. So I do want to say though, you know, some parents don't necessarily have funds for some of the camps that are out there that you mentioned, which I think are phenomenal camps. You know, you also have summer reading camps. You have even some pre-college camps for children who are or youth that are going on to college. But the goal is that you said, Darius, earlier, is to help our children build their learning skills around reading and writing. Those are two major skills that I think we don't really try to always develop and enhance. And just, you know, if you don't have funds to put your children into camps, here are just some quick ideas that you can do around the house. So even when it comes to writing, you can have your kids do some journaling. If their kids are really little kids, because they're never too young to learn, you know, around writing, have them be a part of writing the grocery list. That would help them, you know, have great penmanship that will help them really learn with spelling words and forming sentences. And so have them make the grocery list with you. You can also have them write poetry. So if they're real creative and artsy, have them to write down some thoughts. A few other ones may be, I was researching this, and there are blogs for our young kids to actually participate in. And so they can go to EDU blogs or kid blogs, where people can there's free sites. They can just have a free account.
That's
and they can log on
EDU blog and kid blog.
Yes, and they can just log on and blog. So, have them do research around certain topics and certain things, that they can write what their thoughts are, what their feelings are. And that's a way of expression. And I think that's phenomenal. And there was one other thing I want to throw out. They can participate in the community. And there was something online called Zoom, Zoom in action. So if they want to become engaged in community events, they can also, research that and become a part of things that's happening in the community. But like you, Darius, with your strong mother, actually having you out there and being a part of what's happening in the community is why you're so successful and making a difference and impacting lives today. But it started at home.
No doubt. Those are some excellent tips, Lady Karan. Thank you very much for sharing those. 240-455-5934 is our call-in number. If you have some summer jobs that you're aware of, if your organization or company has opportunities for young people, please let us know so that we can share that with our viewing audience. And also, we have some Cosmic Manifestation health tips and some books, some small books that people can read and look into that will be shared now by the Queen.
Oh, great. Thank you. Listening audience, and love what you said about jobs for the young people and home and fulfilling their educational tasks, their academic tasks, the writing skills, learning and reading. You can't beat that. When you have great writing skills, great communication skills, great listening skills, you can get a job anywhere, because that helps to develop your ability to put down on paper how you see things and then to be able to orientate, to speak it out. It's powerful. That's beautiful. I want to tell you where you can just look up things online very quickly. Fat-free. Vegan eating is typically pretty low in fats. Fat-free eating program called the Vegan Kitchen. Fat-free Vegan Kitchen. You can just Google that. Fat-free Vegan Kitchen. Another blog you can get to. People have a lot of allergies during the time of the year, April, May, June. And you can work on gluten-free with vegan cooking, gluten-free vegan blog, gluten-free vegan blog. When you're working on a lunchbox, what to prepare for your children or yourself to eat when you're going out, you can find vegan lunchbox. Just Google vegan lunchbox. Also for dinners, dinner with DILIP, D-I-L-I-P. Dinner with D-I-L-I-P. For desserts, My Sweet Vegan. My Sweet Vegan. These are all things you can Google, have Google blogs, and Post-Punk Kitchen, a fun kitchen. I don't like the word punk, but that's what they call themselves, Post-Punk Kitchen. And you can get great recipes. You need to learn how to prepare your foods. A good hint is to make food like Chinese food. Anything that you eat must be able to chew until it becomes a liquid in order to have it actually dissolve in the blood cells to become a nutrient and carry through the blood system. It must be a vegetable or fruit that's chewed until it becomes a liquid. I also would like to give you 3 things that sugar does to the body. Sugar can cause arthritis. Sugar can cause learning disorders in children. Sugar can cause gallstones. Keep that in mind. Books for references, very fast. Doctor's Little Black Bag of Remedies and Cures. Doctor's Little Black Bag of Remedies and Cures. This is an old book, but it's a very powerful book. And it's a boardroom publisher's advice of experts and authorities in many fields. It's called Doctor's Little Black Bag of Remedies and Cure, Volume 1.
That's a mouthful.
Another
Doctor's Little Black Bag of Remedies and Cures. Got it.
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Another very small, important book by Dr. P-A-A-V-O, Paavo Airola, A-I-R-O-L-A. PAAVOAIROLA. And this book is Cancer Causes, Prevention, and Treatment, the Total Approach.
I got to make sure before I introduce Queen and the Cosmic Manifestation that we make sure we have out our pen and our paper. So do not come to the Peace in the Morning show without your pen and your paper, or your paper and your pen and your pen and your paper and your
Dr. Wright's little book of big health secrets. Dr. Wright's little book of big health secrets, Volume 1.
Another
small
tongue twister.
book, but very powerful, clinical, all types of things. And it's a doctor's book. It's not something people say, who's reading that, who's giving. These are professionals in the medical field who are
Dr.
writing
Wright's
these books.
little book of big health secrets.
That's right.
A mouthful.
Volume 1.
Lady Karan, is that a mouthful?
That is. And so, Queen, you always give such great resources. Is there a way, and I know our listening audience has asked, is there a way we can actually post these on online for them to go and review?
So we've been posting them on our page, and we will also, starting today, consistently post them on the Peace in the Morning Show's Facebook page, and also we will be starting a Google Plus page. Queen will start to post them on her page on Google Plus.
I'm already posting. I'm posting them on my Google blog, Queen Ayacodobet, AYACODOBAE, AYACODOBAE. I have a Google blog. They're also
Queen is
posted
on it.
on my LinkedIn page. I also have a number of people since 4:35 this morning have been posting to over 50 different email sites where they will go to people in Ethiopia and various parts of Africa. So yes, we are posting this. We also have friends in Jamaica who are posting our material, and hopefully they will be putting it on their radio program, Roots FM and Best FM in Kingston, Jamaica. Two other books I would like to go through. The Colon Health Handbook, A Health Through Colon Rejuvenation. This is the 10th revised edition by Robert Gray. Small, very inexpensive, but potent books to help you with your healing and advice. One other thing I just want to say about people, don't cook your vegetables over 5 minutes. When you do, they become toxic. Collard greens are very
Repeat
hard
that again,
on the
please.
heart. Do not cook your vegetables over 5 minutes. They become toxic.
So really, you should steam your vegetables.
Yes, vegetables should be steamed or lightly steamed, stir-fried like
Or
Chinese
raw.
food.
Or raw is the best way to eat your green leafy vegetables raw, correct?
Yeah, you want to chew them. They have to be able to be chewable. When they're slimy, you're not working the teeth. The teeth and the jawbone, the saliva, all work together to break the food down properly so that you can get the nutrients from the food. Please look these things up. Remember to chew your food thoroughly. It's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you. Get away from anything that urinates, defecates, and procreates. That would be all flesh and blood items. People say thou shalt not kill, but we are killing to live. I don't get that at all. Peace and love.
So you heard it right here on the Peace in the Morning Show, Cosmic Manifestation. Lady Karan, we're about to wrap it up. You know, tomorrow, Lady Karan, I know you're not going to be live with us on the air, but I'm sure you will share it in your atmosphere because you know tomorrow is Funky Friday.
I gotta see it.
As a matter of fact, Queen, I'm going to put you on the spot real quick. We got your music playing soft in the background. Do you have a Funky Friday, Freestyle Friday flow for us this morning?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have something you can give us real quick, real fast, real woo, 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 to rock them on their Thursday to get them
Nobody loves a fat man, but oh, how a fat man loves. He's a lover man. Bow, 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 bow.
All right, you see what I'm saying? That's what you in store for tomorrow when you tune in as my brother Bubba Grimes rolls on as he slims it on down. Break it on, break it on, break it on
Oh,
down.
love it. You gotta love a fat man because a fat man has a way of moving that a skinny man can't because he doesn't have the resources.
I'm not fat. I'm adiposely challenged.
I wasn't even talking about him.
Nobody, I mean, I mentioned about, okay, put it on me, put it on me.
I
But that's
wasn't
right. Now,
even
tomorrow, I
talking
want
about-
you to go look this brother up on Facebook, Google Plus, Ty, T-Y, Gray, Gray,
Ill.
Ill. E-L. That's Ty Gray, Gray hyphen E-L. E-L. That's Ty Gray L. He will be in the studio live tomorrow with The Breath of My Ancestors. And this brother has performed all over the country. He's dynamic. He has a one-man performance. He deals with all kind of issues. But tomorrow, as a Mother's Day theme, we are celebrating mothers. And so a lot of his poetry will be for the mothers. And brothers, you want to get in on this and send some of these poems to your ladies. So thank you so much for joining us here on the Peace in the Morning Show. Lady Karan, we will see you next week. Live in the studio, you all get a chance to see her up close and in person versus just on the Skype screen.
So beautiful. The whitest teeth.
That's just the whitest teeth. And the skin is just, look at the skin. You see it?
Yeah.
That's right. Like
glowing.
That's right. Just glowing, showing.
Shining.
To Cali. Oh, that's Tennessee. My fault. My good.
On our way out, I want to say we are prone to judge success by the index of our salaries or the size of our automobiles, rather than by the quality of our service and relationship to mankind. That was Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King.
Wow. Well, on that note, I think that's our peaceful moment. A successful summer breeds a successful life. Continue to push peace. Continue to push love. And remember this. If you see things being promoted negatively, pull them up, break them down, separate yourself from them, and don't allow them to keep going. Don't promote those things that are negative that you know are tearing people down. Teach your children not to promote and spread things that are tearing people down. Teach your children to promote and spread things that are lifting people up. Be happy for people and push them to the next level. This is Darius A. Stanton for Queen Ayasuda Bay. Thank you, Roland, in the studio. Doreen Williams, we thank you for the support you gave us in the Peace in the Morning Show getting started. And we're rolling out on the Peace in the Morning. That's right, Cassiana. Facebook Live, what's up? Get us tomorrow for Funky Friday. If you want to call us up on a freestyle, dial us in. Cassiana, come on, brother, get on Facebook Live real quick. That's right, come on, man. You gotta walk fast. Look. That's what I'm talking about. Get on up on the mic. Facebook, you get a little live treatment for this, and you get special guests in the studio. Our very own Cassiana, I'll bring it over to you so you can see our good brother. We learned about love and hugs on the Peace in the Morning Show.
He's giving his mother so many hugs she can't even get away from him.
For they shall inherit the earth. My sister, know your value. My brethren, know your worth. Deliverance, benevolence, service to the Most High Jah. Deliverance, benevolence, service to the Most High Jah. For I will exalt thee, O Lord, 'cause thou hast lifted me up, and I let my foes rejoice over me. I will exalt thee, O Lord, thou hast lifted me up, and I let my foes rejoice over me. I will exalt thee, O Lord, for thou hast lifted me up, and I let my foes rejoice over me. I will exalt thee, O Lord, thou hast lifted me up, and I let my foes rejoice over me. Weeping may tarry through the night, but joy cometh in the morning.
Hallelujah! They call me Casper. Hallelujah! They call me Casper. Not the friendly ghost, but the Holy Ghost. Today, and I'm here to make you shout. Glory be to the one who knows what the funk's about, y'all. Man. Like a rhyme rhythm, only if you can stand the elastic music. calling short distance, baby. I'm gonna hit you with the one on the front. Stretching, baby. Hang on. Watch out now, baby. Give me some. So you unfunky folk, let me come out my sheet so you can see what I'm doing. Dig. Party, baby. Holy Jesus. Stretching out, baby. Oh, just give me room. Crawl all over you. Watch out. Oh, get nasty on you, baby. Don't skate the funk out, you. Hit me. Oh, glory be. The funk's on me. I gotta get it loose, baby. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Oh, crying, baby. This is Casper here. I just want to whisper in your ear. I'm calling short distance, baby. From me to you with a friendly boo. That's all, baby. Just a friendly boo. Boo. Oh, play on, brother. Liquid. Liquid, baby. Stretching.